Hey everybody, welcome to WNY Athletics High School Football Weekly. Frank Wolf, Tom Prince in the house once again, talking high school football. We got Heidi Gunther producing tonight. Tim Gardner's here in the background. He's doing some work. And Mario Hall was walking around the building somewhere. I don't know where he disappeared. He's still here? Mario Hall is here somewhere. It's mostly just a high school football playoff preview show for today. We were going to go out to Quantum Conditioning and Wellness. And that was the plan, to be there today. Unfortunately, things came up that prevented us from doing that. It had nothing to do with Quantum. It's all an internal WNY Athletics deal. That's why we're not there today, but we'll go out there next week and try again. So apologies to Don for not being able to come out there this week and do this show. We would have loved to have done it. Perfect night for it. Just things came up that are beyond everyone's control. And we're here in studio. Tom, me. We're not going to have any guests on today. No kids, no coaches, no players. Just tough week to get things going, especially with all the playoffs and scheduling that we have going on, with not knowing what games we were going to be able to do and stream this week, and just a lot of hoops we've had to jump through getting prepared for the high school playoffs. Not just football. I mean, football is our passion. We love football. We love all high school sports, but we've got soccer, we've got volleyball. What else do we do? Field hockey, cheerleading. So a lot going in this. I can't wait for the cheerleading on Saturday.
I've done the cheerleading. I don't mind going to the cheerleading. It's actually, I cut the videos. I've done it many a times before. Frank will tell you. I cut all the videos, get all the routines out on social media. You know why? Because the routine almost fits in perfectly to go on social media. And the time that they're down, you're uploading to social media, the next one's ready to go. Like you're constantly busy the whole time there.
Yeah. So that's we're gonna have a crazy busy week. You had the game of the week. You were there for the game of the week, that Tapestry game. They were hosting Barker Royhart on Saturday. Got a little rainy, didn't it, towards the end?
Yeah, I don't want to say it was pouring. It just got, it got a little rain started coming down. But that was right about when Barker Royhart started pulling away a little bit.
No Funderburk?
He played, was used sparingly. But you can see is he went out, did some things. I think they were trying to just make sure to see if they can get another, week out of him, to see if they were going to possibly be able to get through it without him. That's why I think he even suited up and was trying his hardest to make it happen.
Yeah, he would have made a major difference if he would have been 100% healthy for sure. But you got to take your hats off to Royhart Barker and the season that they've had under Coach Bill Brunning this year. Again, it's a long time coming. We've been waiting and waiting. All we've heard about was this team was coming, these kids were coming, and they were going to be ready to go. And, they finished out the regular season. I forget the record, but it was they won the North, the one loss, yeah.
First week of the season too.
Yep. So they had the one loss, tough game.
So it was Newfane.
So yeah, Newfane hasn't lost a game all year. You had that game Friday night. We'll get into that. But I got to take my hats off to those kids from Barker Royhart. I was a little skeptical at the beginning of the year, only because we had heard and they hadn't lived up to the hype. I remember seeing a couple of the kids at Sweet Home, and I'm like, these kids are serious. These kids were taking the offseason serious. They talked. They were upbeat and just saying, hey, we're holding people accountable and trying to lead these kids because they knew they had the talent to compete. And my hat's off to them. And here they are getting ready for a playoff game. Who's their first matchup against? Salamanca. So that's a game we're doing on Friday night. Are you on that call with Carson? Okay, Carson Harper and you are going to be there. I'm going up for that one.
Awesome.
Tim's producing. So Mario's come with it. Who's our camera guy on that game? Are you doing camera too? Wow, jack of all trades. Which I'm going to.
By the way, he did that at the Wilson game. Was phenomenal. He really did great on both of them.
Okay. So maybe I'll help you out with the camera if I have to. Okay.
We like to get cozy here at Western New York Athletics.
So the
There, yeah, we're going from a G show to a PG show, flirting with the R right there.
Oh yeah. It was good to see Newfane Wilson finally lock horns. Did Newfane look that much better than Wilson?
One man did.
One guy did.
200 and I think it was 226, 228 yards that Capon goes for inside that game. He threw the ball for 16 yards. He didn't have to. That's what we're saying is it was he ran the ball and would break not one, not two, not three, not four. It just kept breaking tackles all day long.
Okay. I'm going to question you. Colin, how you doing, buddy? All the games we do have to go on that NFHS network from here on out due to the copyrights. We do not have enough money to pay the section for the rights, and they up the ante on their charges for the sectional games, playoff games, which is I'd do the same thing if I were them. If there's another streaming company out there that wants to do the games, they're more than welcome to. They just got to pay that fee. I'm not going to do it. So we're going to put it on NFHS. For $10 a month, I think you'll get every game for 30 days. So that'll take you through the stadium, and for the most part, should take you to JMA Wireless. Maybe
I think it's just short, but even if you did 2 months, you're talking $20 for 2 months of things. Yeah. You are allowed to cancel at any time,
and you can watch these games on demand. Games that we didn't do, you can watch as well. Colin, tell me,
playing, for the future.
Is Tonawanda playing in a Funky Bowl? I thought they had a Funky Bowl game, or one more playoff game, or one more. What are you guys doing now, Colin? I know you're watching at home, so I'll look for your answer in the comments. But I would like to see what Tonawanda is doing. I will say I know they didn't have a good record, but you could tell that this Tonawanda team tried a lot harder than last year's Tonawanda team, in years maybe even before that. Probably since the Joe Kelly days, I think this is the hardest that team's competed. They weren't in a lot of games, but they played every down. And that's all you can ask your kids is to play every down. That's kind of how it is down in Cat Little Valley. They're not in every game, but they're playing hard every play, whistle to the whistle. And that's what you want. That's what you want to see out of Coach. Silver Creek is on, I think, a 2 or 3 game winning streak. Silver Creek.
They've been very fun to be able to see. They've named a couple players this week to the Skylines report that I sent over.
Okay. 6 p.m. East Aurora. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate you. That's a winnable game for Tonawanda.
It's winnable for both games. They're two,
yeah.
Good match teams right there. And I do think that, it should be a fun game to watch.
Were you going to say something? Did I cut you off?
No, I was just...
Your Skyline report, did we publish that yet?
No, I just sent it over like 5 o'clock.
Well, they want us to turn the volume up. Steve Trenchard wants the volume up. We're going to raise the volume. Now, Steve, did you raise your volume up at home? I'm just calling you out, Steve. I want to make sure your volume's up too, buddy.
We had a question over here. Where's that other jersey?
I asked that earlier.
The Andreessen jersey, it's in the wash. No, it's yeah, that's where it is. It's
and you want to give Harry Skull credit to this too, because that's your photographer for this photo.
Yes, and I'm not holding up a water or a bottle of Pepsi, so maybe we should take that one down. That's all right. Goofballs. Yeah, that was a fun trip. But Joe started that game. Joe did very well. He was in on a couple of tackles. Very good. All right, our volume level seems to be good again. We had a great section in Carolina, by the way. We got a good hook up for our seats. But it was a good section.
Half my Facebook friends were there because every time I went through, it was a post I'm looking at that was from Carolina. So you had a lot of friends down there. There's no doubt about it.
Good time for sure. I was hanging out with Brian Baker from Wilson.
Yep.
Standing right next to me for half the game. Alex, do not put that photo on a shirt. Alex, do not put that photo on a shirt. Thank you. Sisto, I'm watching you. Anyways, what other games this past weekend before we get through? Because it was rivalry week. Ken West beats Ken East again. Francis owes me 25 push-ups.
No, he said he wouldn't do it, remember?
He did?
Yeah, he said he wouldn't make that bet.
West Seneca West and West Seneca East, I think it was a 17-0 final.
It was 0-0 at halftime, I want to say it was.
Yeah. So that was a nice one there.
Remember the Bennett Orchard Park game, which was for first place in the AA. That was a good game that went into the second half, very close in that one. Bennett comes out big, really comes up with the running back. Valentine comes up big with another game inside that one. You have, just looking at some of the other big scores. Clarenceville North, 2012. That was
a game we
Yep.
talked earlier in the year with the quarterback Weisenberg from North, and they really wanted that Clarence game. Like that was a game they had circled on their calendar.
Yep.
Get some payback there, and they won. But I got a question online. The Alden and CSP were supposed to play a Funky Bowl game, and Alden did opt out. I don't know why. I hate to speculate. I know you people love when I speculate, but I usually get myself in trouble when I do that. So I'm not going to speculate, but that's a long drive. Maybe injuries played a part. Maybe they don't have enough JV kids to pull up to play that game. Maybe they couldn't get the bus. I don't know. That's a long drive to play a Funky Bowl game. You wish they would have played that game.
Oh, you always wish. Everybody, listen, especially when it's a senior that knows that this is going to be his last game no matter what. And I don't care what the sport is. You want that senior to get that last moment because they may never participate in the sport again.
Yeah, I think the number was 75% of athletes do not go on to play at JUCO Division III or above. It's 75 or 78% was the last number I saw in this area in Western New York. So
That's that nationwide. We're not
I
far
thought that
off
number
of
was
it.
actually kind of low. I thought it'd be closer to 85%.
Yeah. Well, but I think what we do well here in Western New York is because we have such a strong JUCO programs, and as well as we've got multiple Division III programs right in this area. I think that does help some of those sports to be able to make sure that we do have people that participate.
And I want to give two shout-outs. One of them is the ECC, that field complex they're building over there on Main Street is coming in nicely. That is absolutely gorgeous. Huge bleachers on both sides of the field. I'm looking. Did you? You like it? Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's lights there. I'm almost positive there's lights. You may not know some to the day, but I'm pretty sure there's lights there.
I haven't seen it.
We'll
I've
double
seen
check.
so many shots, but I haven't necessarily seen whether lights were put up on them or not.
I also wanted to give a shout to a former Lockport kid, Logan Went. Remember to call that name?
I remember
He
the
was
name.
spotted at a Cortland game coming off the field wearing a WNY Athletics
headband?
headband. Yeah, Emily Croysdale, one of our photographers, sent me the photo. So shout out to that young man, Logan. Thank you for representing our brand. We appreciate it. What I'd like to do is, do we want to touch on any other games?
I don't think
You're not seeing any lights there?
No, I don't think lights are up yet.
All
So
right.
you can see, there's nothing around. the
Lights
field.
should be up by now too, right?
Yeah.
Isn't lights one of the first things they put in? Anyways, if no lights, no lights. What are you going to do? Did we want to touch on any other of those rivalry games before we take a quick break, come back with some Connolly Cup and Trench Trophy talk?
McKinley Grand Island was a big game. McKinley comes up 28-14 in that one.
That was a good game, yeah. And how about the fight that Will East put up against Health Sciences? What was the score at halftime? 7-0? I think
19 to
at halftime?
Yeah, I want to say Health Sciences scored them all their points in the first half. They didn't score anything in the second half.
So huge shout out to Will East, holding them to a tight one there.
How about Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton, and Salamanca? That was a 28-25 game. And remember,
Yeah.
that was for seeding position
And
inside that
Salamanca
one.
had a shot at the end there too.
Yeah.
They were, had a drive to get down, to go down and try and make something happen. Didn't work out, but
And I'm going to tell you, because we got to give these guys the love, because we didn't in the early in the season because of some of the things that happened in some blowout games. But boy, I have been very, very impressed with Portville, the way they finished this season out. Another big win over CSP, and they get themselves in the playoffs. And I'll tell you,
was for the final spot.
yeah. They ended up as a 3, didn't they, Portville?
They may have.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think
for playoffs.
Yeah, oh, it absolutely was.
CSP wins that game.
And then CSP was,
So-
was going to be one or the other. But I want to say I think Portville ended up as a 3 seed, and they're going to take on the number 2 seed, Eden North Collins.
Yeah.
You're going to see 2 completely different style teams out here. That's going to be a fun game to watch because, as we all know, the air attack for Eaton North Collins is the real deal. Now you're going to see a defense that wants to run the ball, play a little bit of smash mouth football is what they're going to want to do. That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yep, for sure. We're going to come back after a brief word from our sponsors. Let's thank them. Richmond Vona, Damon University, Logistics Plus of Buffalo, Wingnuts of Buffalo, Colvin Cleaners, SUNY Binghamton, G&G Fitness, and SUNY Cortland. We're going to go to a commercial break. You're watching West New York High School Football Weekly.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Cha-Cha's got you. If you've been injured, don't you worry, Cha-Cha's got you. Don't you worry, Cha-Cha's got you.
Call 648-3030.
Welcome back to Western New York High School Football Weekly. Frank Wolf, Tom Prince, Heidi Gunther's here, and Tim Gardner's hanging around the building somewhere. This is the playoff. We are here. Playoffs have started. I mean, literally 10 seconds ago, we were talking about the very first game of the year and where we were going and all that other good stuff. And now the regular season's over for the Section 6. We got one more week of Monsignor Martin to play. But Section 6 playoffs, Funky Bowls, they're here. One game last week that finished, an exciting finish was that Gowanda-Randolph game. Capozzi throws a touchdown Hail Mary.
And literally ran from one sideline to the other sideline. If you saw it, he actually ran to the numbers
that was,
on the close sideline to the press box. rolled back out to the opposite side, throw that one in, boom, everyone goes nuts, and it was great to see the sidelines on that one. It was definitely a great throw and catch right there.
And something similar happened to them a year before, Chautauqua Lake. Gibbs to the tall kid, the tall receiver there, Jacobson. Was how that season ended.
Yeah.
Or not, the season might not end.
No, but it was
that way,
20. That was a 29-28 finish. Yeah.
So Gowanda finally gets that done on that Hail Mary. Let's get into our. Well, actually, why don't we do Connolly Cup first? You got that graph here? Your Connolly Cup Week 8 Players of the Week. Daniel Ahern from the running back from Lancaster. They added Benzink from Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton, Chase Bonta, Jamestown, Zach Bridenbacher from Depew, Matt Capon, Newfane, Carter Capozzi, Gowanda, Pine Valley, Amir Caesar, Williamsville South, Nick Ciancio from Iroquois. Dominic Cook Jr. makes the list from St. Francis. Jack Eskridge finally gets on from Bennett. Vinny Fazio, Barker, Royhart, Justice Kleitz, Iroquois. Silas Nellis is on the list yet again. Wide receiver from Eden. Dylan Swanson, Cat Little Valley, and Brady Waring, the quarterback from Eden, makes the list as well. Tom, you got them Trench Trophy guys?
So Connor Heitic from West Seneca West. Ty Kaczynski from Portville, Tyler McIntyre from Southwestern Frewsburg, Troy Pitska from St. Mary's, Plitzka, apologize, Kyrie Smith from Williamsville East, Sammy Starks from McKinley, and Mason Weber from CSP.
That Connor Haydick kid, that's Kyle's younger brother. Kyle was on, I want to say, the state championship team from West Seneca West. So you got two brothers that are getting some recognition. Kyle was a very good football player in his own day. And I want to say he's at Brockport, or no, he's back coaching at West Seneca West.
Okay.
He was at Brockport. Now he's on the coaching staff there. So hopefully we'll get the chance to see him. The AA playoff bracket. Ms. Heidi, do you have those for us at home? Okay, there we are. Bennett gets the number 1 overall seed in Class AA. No major surprise there. So they get a bye week. They will wait for the winner of Niagara Falls at Lancaster, which is played Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday at 7 p.m. in Lancaster. And then in the other bracket, you got Hutch Tech going to Orchard Park. That'll be played Saturday at 2 p.m. And then Friday, it's Lockport at Jamestown. What games are on NFHS WNY Athletics that we're doing? Is it just the Jamestown game? Or no?
I don't think we're doing any
None of the AA games. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you could go to those teams' huddle cameras to watch.
So let's talk about that Lancaster and Niagara Falls game. One thing that's going to be very, very interesting in games tomorrow, weather. Where they're calling for rain in that. Grass field, two teams that are going to look to see if they can pound the ball on that one. Could change the dynamics of how you use your quarterbacks in this one, but both quarterbacks like to run the ball in this thing. This could come down to a lot of line play and what happens in those trenches in that game. And can you keep your footing and can you do all the things necessary to get a victory in that one?
It's interesting you say that because I think both quarterbacks are kind of banged up. You know, the kid Taylor from Niagara Falls got banged up in the Jamestown game. King is it King?
Yes.
Yeah, from Lancaster took a couple good shots in that Bennett game. So neither one of them are 100%. So we'll have to wait and see.
Lancaster does have something in their back pocket, though, and that's Smith. They can easily bring him in to play quarterback as well.
Yeah.
No, even he's a quarterback. He can throw the ball. He can do what King. The difference is King's the senior, Smith is a junior. That's one of the biggest things as to, who's playing right now. So you look at it from the perspective of Lancaster does have a backup plan if they need to.
Yeah. Plus, they also have Daniel Ahern.
Oh, absolutely.
So if it's whether you're worried about and pounding the ball, who better on that field out of those two teams? Daniel Ahern is the guy I'd want to have the ball.
Absolutely.
In his hands.
Yeah.
So Lancaster should prevail in that one, but that's why they're playing last year. I don't know where they played this game. I think it was the last game of the year. Maybe I don't know where or how, but Lancaster and Niagara Falls played a game late, and Niagara Falls came back and put a scare in Lancaster. Was that week 1?
I don't remember when it was, but, obviously it's happened. And
Yeah.
the only reason I'm even bringing it up is just from a weather standpoint.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, weather does crazy things to things, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I said, not once, not twice, not 3 times, and you did right along with me, better watch out whoever lands into that 4 or 5 seed, because one of the most dangerous AA teams, even with all their losses, we felt was still Niagara Falls.
Tough, physical. The issue I have with Niagara Falls year after year is just the undisciplined penalties. Not being lined up ready to go, offsides, encroachment, whatever you want to call it, just seems to bite them in the butt too often. And you can't make those mistakes against a team like Lancaster. You can't make them against the Jamestown, and you can't make them against teams like Bennett, because you don't want to have to, you're already assuming, well, they're not assuming, but usually a team gets a jump on Niagara Falls, a touchdown, 2 touchdown lead. You can't come from behind if you're constantly going from 3rd and short to 3rd and 10, 3rd and long, 3rd and 15, and you can't take yourself out of those short yard situations. And that's been a killer for Niagara Falls over the years. And if they can focus and stay focused for 4 quarters, I'll definitely give them a chance in this game.
But I will say, if we've got healthy quarterbacks, this game, when you looked at when they played together, remember I was on the call for the Lancaster-Niagara Falls game. One thing that I'll tell you, Michael Taylor wish he had, there were some big drops that happened with the guy's hands that not only would have been big plays, would have been touchdown scoring opportunities right there. And I know he wants his second opportunity to see if that can go ahead and happen. But listen, the one thing that we all know is this Lancaster team is so well coached, and they will have them ready for every aspect of the games. And I'll tell you, you look at the 2 in general, Orchard Park, and you look at the game that was against Niagara Falls. Both games were won by Lancaster because of special teams. They are just a complete team all around. When you look at what they bring to the table, you've got to match that if you're going to go ahead and beat Lancaster.
The other games in that bracket, Heidi, can you bring that up one more time for us? Thank you very much. I'm not expecting Hutch Tech to give Orchard Park a game. You'd love to see it. That Bresky kid is just playing out of his mind right now. He's been very good this year for Orchard Park, but they got other players too. That Dana kid is fantastic to watch. The quarterback's playing better.
Patrick Budney is a kid that's having a hell of a year right now, playing both sides of the ball. Really has been a big plus for that Orchard Park team as well.
And then Jamestown has done very well. I mean, Bonta's not even playing the whole game because he's doing so well in that first half, getting his 2, 3, 4 touchdowns, and then they've been pulling them. So I would expect Jamestown Orchard Park to meet up in Week 10. So we're probably looking at, Bennett, Lancaster, and then OP and Jamestown. I put a little bit of a prediction thing out there on Western New York Athletics today. This is the toughest road for Lancaster to get to Highmark, where they've been for how many straight years? 8?
I think it'll be 8 if they do it this
8?
year. I want to say it was 7.
Okay.
And I'm doing it off the top of my head, so I apologize if I was off one there.
But this has got to be the toughest road because Niagara Falls isn't going to be a cakewalk. I mean, some people might think it's going to be a cakewalk. For them, it's not a cakewalk. Niagara Falls is going to play as physical as possible with Lancaster and try to throw them off the game. At the same time, all you kids out there, if you get tossed from this game, you're not playing Week 10. So keep that in mind. If you're up on a team by a couple of scores, you get some kids out there that, this is my last game. I'm never going to play again. What do I care if I get tossed? I might as well take someone with me. We see it all the time. So just keep your emotions in check.
To tell you, this game the first time around, there were some big hits in this game. We had to stop the game multiple times for guys on both sides of the team that really were down and needed time because they really got hit hard. So that is a game, I'm going to tell you, folks, you want to be there. You want to see some of this hitting that's out there. But again, the same thing we talked about Taylor. King, if he's at full strength, some of the things I've watched that young man do even this year in some games, there was one, I had to talk to him about it on air, like as far as when we did the post-game interviews, where he came out and did such a pump fake that he stopped every defender. He was actually going for a touchdown and then walked into the end zone. Like, it was a crazy pump fake. I couldn't believe it. And I even said to him, how did you do that? And he was talking to me about how he was reading the defense and he was trying to throw the defense off, and that was exactly how it happened. And the kid's got a cannon to boot. I mean, he can throw the ball with the best of them. Same with Taylor. That kid's got a cannon of an arm out there and can run unbelievable. I'm going to tell you, folks, if that's a game you got circled on your calendar, go there because it's going to be a fun one.
Thursday night?
Yep.
Okay, Thursday night. So they can all do their trick-or-treating. Let's go to Class A. Class A sectional starts with Grand Island at Will North. Now, that's Friday at 7 p.m. Thursday night, the game you and I are doing on NFHS Network. Clarence versus McKinley at All High Stadium. Also, Ken West at Health Sciences. We just found out that's a 7 p.m. game at Mulroy Park. And Will East at West Seneca West is going to be the other one. Wow.
That is loaded. And I'll tell you, how about Will North going, I get the number 1 seed, and you got to bring in Grand Island. Think, you got a number 1 seed, and you bring in a team like Grand Island. But, boy, I'll tell you, Will North reminds me, you know what team it reminds me of? Is Portville. Think about it. The same type of love needs to go to Will North. Started out a rough first 2 games.
Those first 2 games, you couldn't have played any worse than they did.
Absolutely. And guess what? They forgot about it, went on, and look at where they are with the number 1 seed right there.
It's incredible how they've hit the reset button. They didn't panic. They went back to the drawing board, and here they are, the number 1 seed, but you get Grand Island. And if, I in my prediction article, I put Grand Island is a dark horse. But they are very capable of pulling off an upset, and they've done it before. So this is not going to be a walk in the park. This is not a true 1 versus 8, I don't believe.
No way.
I think those teams are a lot closer than what it shows in the standings. So
I hate to say it's not really a 1-8 because it really is a 1-4.
No, right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Because you don't really rank each other versus A1 and A2.
Correct.
But I really believe that 3 of these games are going to be right down to the wire. It really will come down to the wire, I think, in 3 of them.
So Clarence at McKinley tomorrow. You've got the quarterback, Kaylon Ford, who's having a great year. Dual threat QB, can throw the ball. He's got some nice touch. He's improved his game as a passer, but he can also score from anywhere on the field. He just is that electric. He's got great speed, very slippery, good mover and shaker.
It's also something when you got a guy like Cardell Staples to throw the ball to, too.
Yeah. Staples is having himself a great year, too. Clarence, there's a good mix of young and old in there. And what I mean by that, I see a number of sophomores stepping up for Clarence and playing very good. And they got great senior leadership. Now, these guys are only a couple years away from winning a sectional title. There's guys that were on that roster when they won 2 years ago.
And you know who those guys are? The linemen.
Yeah.
All those linemen have come back pretty much. In fact, I want to say the entire line has been recognized by the Trench Trophy 1 week or another.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and then the young is the skilled players, which was totally opposite of what it was 2 years ago. Yeah. But it's their skilled players that are the young ones stepping up in that one. But I'll tell you, that's going to be a fun one. And that really will be, just like we talk about, boy, that's going to be all about the line play.
And you got Ken West and Harlem Brannon taking on Health Sciences. That's a tall task. Now, that may be a true 1 versus 8. That's a David and Goliath matchup. Harlem Brannon, as good as he is, I don't think he's good enough to carry a team over the likes of Health Sciences. That's a tough draw for the Blue Devils. I know they're going to go in and give it everything they have, but Health Sciences with that running game, the tandem that they have, and then the defense. The defense is sick, too. Great pursuit of the ball. Health Sciences should come away with that one. Then you get this Will East, West Seneca.
And before you go, you got 2 Brandons on the other side of the field when you talk about Health Sciences, right? You got Pitts and you got Guy. Both of these guys have been averaging over 150 yards a game. Yeah. Put out the game that Pitts had against Hamburg. Forget even about that. Both of these guys, when I do my Skyline report, I have to put both of these running backs on because they're eclipsing 150 yards and multiple touchdowns.
Yeah. So Health Sciences should race their way through the field, but that game last week versus Will East would give me a little pause. Maybe Will East, if they can get through West Seneca West, they have a bit of a blueprint there. Maybe they can, figure something else out that will work against Health Sciences to at least slow those running backs down. Maybe the weather's terrible. That could work in their favor. West Seneca West, though, you got the young quarterback, and you've got this very, very tough physical line. And I'm interested to see how they deal with how Will East deals with that offensive line of West Seneca West. That's going to be, to me, those 4 games, that might be the game because it's going to take 4 quarters for either one of them, I think, to pull that one out. I think you might even need overtime there.
That's why I said those 3 games to me, those are, in fact, I sent you a list on Sunday of all the games that I thought were the best games out of all of Section 6. Those 3 games I had on that list because there is not a bad game right there.
No. So what ones do we have, Timmy? We've got Clarence and McKinley on NFHS. That's the only one we've got, right? And Will East, West Seneca West you got.
Yep,
okay. Who's calling that game? Harper? Carson? Fayok. Fayok and Tom. Okay, Saturday. Ooh. Man, you got you got 2 freaking great games. Do you think Clarence could slow McKinley down and give them a game? What is your I hate to put you on the spot, but if you were going to take any one of those games and say the lower seed, you could easily see them playing week 10. Which one would it be and why?
Probably I just say is Will East. And the only reason I say that right now is, remember, you just came up with that line that we talked about from West Seneca West. The only line that matches that right now is Health Sciences. And they were able to stay in that game and play in that game and be right in there till the end. So they've seen it and lived it the week before already, even in a loss. But Clarence McKinley, you're going to go right to the line. McKinley, we know, has got a big line. You are now going to be matched on that line. The question will be, can the skilled young players come up big now inside a big game like this? Yeah. Now, I want you to remember something. Last year, what happened? McKinley had to go to Clarence the last week, remember, to get inside that playoffs to be out and had that win. That. Don't tell me there aren't a lot of players that go back another year and remember that as well. So there's a little history in that game that really could come up where you could see people really wanting to go after that one.
Very much so. West Seneca West. So you got that running quarterback. You got another kid that can run the ball there as well. They're starting running back. Will East did a great job, or as good a job as you're going to do against Health Sciences back. So they're battle tested in that regard. My question, though, of those games, can Clarence's offensive line handle that pass rush of McKinley? Because I think 2 of their guys have like 20-plus sacks combined.
Absolutely.
Between the 2 of them. So we'll find out tomorrow. We'll be doing that game. But that's my big question. Can they keep Arnold? Can they protect Nathan Arnold?
There's only one team that put up major points on Clarence this year.
Bennett.
Exactly. Now, you're not going to, nobody here is a Bennett that's out there besides possibly Health Sciences because we know what they've gone ahead and accomplished this season. But when I look at this line, and there's a reason why 5 different members of the line have all been named to the Trent's Trophy finalists, because they are seniors, they've lived it, they've done it, and we were talking about them as sophomores giving their quarterback time. Yeah. I really believe that's going to be right what we're going to go down and look at. We're going to look at constantly. We're going to look at that line play.
Also want to give a shout-out to Bryce Tubin, quarterback there 2 years ago. I saw a highlight of him this past weekend, scoring a touchdown at John Carroll. I know he's on the JV squad, but congratulations to you, Bryce, and best of luck. Hopefully you're having continued success down there at John Carroll. All right, let's move on to the Class B bracket. Timmy's taking off. Timmy, thank you for getting us going here. Appreciate you. Yep. Okay, these are the games in Class B. Olean at Will South Friday night. Now, that's on television. That's a WBFO game, I believe.
Yep.
You can also see it on their huddle camera there. Saturday, Pioneer at Lackawanna. That's going to be another rematch from earlier in the year. 7-0 was it, or 7-6? 7-6. South Park at Iroquois. Tim Delaney going up against who he thinks is one of the best quarterbacks in the area, and Justice Kleitz. That's a tall order. That's a Thursday night. It's a game's Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. And then Saturday, it's Depew at West Seneca East. Two pretty balanced teams there at the bottom there going at it. Depew and West Seneca East. West Seneca East has lost 2 games in a row now. They lost to Will South in that huge game, the Class B for the title, or the top ranking. By the way, they lost to Will South in a close one last week against their rival West Seneca West. I thought West Seneca West was a little tougher, more physical than West Seneca East. I'm not super surprised that West Seneca West pulled that one out, but I think it was a lot closer than what that score indicates.
Yeah, well, 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
So absolutely it was. There's no doubt about it.
So I think Depew will have that's a tough draw for West Seneca. I'm sorry. Depew, it's a tough draw for Depew taking on West Seneca East. That's still a team. I know they got a good line with McGloin there. Bernenbacher's an all-star.
These two want to go at each other. They're going to both want to run the ball. This may be which quarterback can be the one to send them into the promised land, because both they don't want to run the ball. Both are effective with the lines. Both are effective with the runs. I mean, think about it. Brittenbacher, do you realize, ran for over 220 yards against Lancaster?
Yeah.
This kid's for real as well. Both of these teams, I think, want to do very similar things inside this game. Who's going to win their style is going to be the question.
Most people will be at that St. Francis Canisius game, but, hey, I'm thinking maybe I'll go to there for the first half and finish at St. Francis.
And obviously I'll be at the St. Francis one, but we'll talk about that later.
Can you go back to that one more time, honey? Thank you. South Park Iroquois. South Park, they've been in some really close games.
In fact, most of their games are close.
They just have a hard time putting up points. Iroquois doesn't. I think Iroquois is just a touchdown or two better because they can move that ball with such precision, and you've got a quarterback that's setting all kind of records, not just at the school, but at the state level and the sectional level. So,
and has 2 great wide receivers. See, we recognize one in the Conley Cup, and then you got exactly is the other one. So, to be honest with you, the game that right when I saw this, to me, was Pioneer Lackawanna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw 7-6. Pioneer played them with a lot of injuries in that first week of the season.
Missing Isaac Platt.
Isaac Platt. You look at the standings from the last game, even Pioneer comes up with a big win. Platt's got no stats in that game as well. So not sure if he's going to be healthy or not, but I really believe that Pioneer needs to be at full strength to go after this Lackawanna game.
Lackawanna is one of those teams that had to reinvent their offense a little bit, but defensively, that's really where they're making their money, is on defense, and they've done phenomenal. I think they kept Iroquois to 3 touchdowns. They only lost.
Not even. I wasn't even 3 touchdowns. I want to say it was 14-6. They may have only held them to 1, and I will verify that right here.
Yeah, it was a lot closer game. If looking at this, that was a pretty close game. I want to say it was 21-14 or something like that.
Good call.
But
That's exactly
is that what it was? 21-14?
It was. It was 14-8 at halftime, and then both scored a touchdown in the second half. And Lackawanna didn't convert on the one in the second half. But
so that Lackawanna defense is what's going to. They have to ride that defense up, right? But I think the quarterback's gotten better as the year going on. I can't remember his name exactly. More.
Yeah. And he's been like in and out. But this is a kid who's got experience and can come up big. He really can. This is a kid that you've got to watch out for.
So Pioneer will have their hands full. They go to Lackawanna. That's where the season started for them, and it's possibly where the season might end. You just don't know. But that game will be played Saturday at 2:00. Olean at Will South. Long travel for Olean. It's definitely a long road trip up to Will South. This Will South team is different. They're other than that Will East blemish, they have been sensational. The Zankel kid, the Ganji kid, Caesar's back. Where's the weakness?
That's the thing there. They are the most complete team inside this bracket to me.
So West Seneca East is very well balanced and a very good team. But outside of Banker, I can't, no offense to anybody there, I can't really, no one's jumping off the page at me that I can remember their name. Will South, balanced as well, but they've got some all-stars. They've got some real all-stars there.
I mean, to be honest with you, think about it. You legitimately, if Caesar doesn't get hurt during the season, you could be possibly talking about how are you going to get not one onto a Conley Cup finalist, but two.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of things that are going on. It's the same type of thing like a health science we talked about. You got Guy and Pitts right now. How the heck do you go ahead and decipher between the two of them right now?
Yeah, Zankel
because
and Caesar.
Zankel, or you know what I mean? Even Gingy's right in there. It could be any of them that they're. To me, when you look at a wide receiver right now, Zankel is one of them that you really have to circle out.
He's a player. He's a player. So we'll have to wait and see who makes it to Week 10 out of Olean Will South, Pioneer Lackawanna, South Park Iroquois, and then who was the last one? West Seneca East and Depew. All good. All good. Heidi's pretty quick with that mouse clicking over there. All right. Why don't we take a break? We'll come back with C&D. More thoughts on those classes in Monsignor Martin. You're watching Western New York High School Football Weekly on WNY Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Cha-cha's got you. If you've been injured, don't you worry, Cha-cha's got you. Don't you worry, Cha-cha's got you.
Call 648-3030.
Welcome back to Western New York's WNY Athletics High School Football Weekly with Tom Prince. I'm Frank Wolf. Heidi Gunther is still here producing. Thank you very much, Heidi. Also want to thank Dan Chacha, injury attorneys, for sponsoring what we do here at Western New York Athletics. We have our end-of-season football banquet. The Dick Gallagher Annual Football Banquet is going to be held on Saturday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Lake Erie Italian Club. Ilya DiPaolo's food, catering. We always have fun at that banquet. Stu Boyer will be emceeing. Right now, Stu is somewhere.
He's on a cruise, right?
Yeah, he's somewhere between Rome and Greece.
Okay. Yeah.
In the Mediterranean. Hopefully he's having. Oh, this hour. What time is it out there? 2 in the morning. You think he's up? Let's call him. No. Call him.
Guy alone.
He forgot me.
Yeah. What is
that's a fun week. So
what does he bring?
I get
hat.
this.
He's bringing something back for you.
All I got was this lousy T-shirt by Stu. One of those deals.
We'll see what he comes back with. Anyways, I hope he's having a good time. Let's see. Class C. Mm-hmm. We're in Class C already. Okay. All right. Great. Let's talk Class C, shall we? All right. Class C. Where are you? There you are. Look at that. Friday night, 7 p.m., Salamanca makes the long drive up in those beautiful red buses up to Barker, Royhart. The game's at Barker. You and I, we'll all be there, but you're on the call with Carson. Mm-hmm. I'm just standing around looking pretty. Also Friday night, Akron at Chautauqua Lake, Medina at Southwestern Frewsburg, and then Portville at Eden, North Carolina. Now, that's a Thursday night. Those two last games I mentioned, Medina at Southwestern, that'll be on the NFHS network. Norman, the gang, will have the call for that one. Portville at Eden. I think Eden's got one of those huddle cameras. You can watch it there. I know Chautauqua Lake has the huddle camera. You know what, Tom? I don't want to bail on that Salamanca Barker game. I want to go up and see that one. But something telling me something crazy could happen Akron at Chautauqua Lake. I don't think it will. But I've been counting that Akron team out since the year started. And they have proved me wrong week after week after week. And I feel bad because I left that team for dead before the season started. And here they are getting ready. They come in as a 3 seed in the North. I mean, this team was left for dead. They lost 20-plus seniors. And here they are with a shot. And I'll tell you, that bracket with Salamanca, Barker, Akron, Chautauqua Lake, I'd rather be in that bracket than the other one at the bottom looking at Southwestern and Eden. I mean, you got Southwestern here that can put points up like no one's business, but they also got that disgusting, mean, crazy, mean linebacker there. You know, your buddy
Markham.
down there,
Markham. Zach
rip
Markham.
your head off.
Yeah.
If you look at him, you know, if you're looking at him funny, he's going to rip your head off. How would you like to be one of those guys having to face Markham?
Nope.
And he's only a junior. Yeesh. But Medina,
and I'll
what
tell
a
you,
big win they
you
had
said,
against.
You said Eden. I'm not counting Portville out in that one.
No, I know. I don't know. We said all year Class C was going to be crazy. And we also said some really good teams won't make it to the postseason because of how competitive it was.
And we've seen
CSP's not in. Falconer, Maple Grove, something else isn't in.
Maple Grove,
Casadega
Valley. And then don't forget that Maritime Tapestry team that's
Maritime
not in
Tapestry,
there either.
you know. So that's a team that just has to learn how to finish games. They have the talent. They have the coaching.
Well, you can say, really, they were an injury away of maybe making things happen at the same time.
Funderburk is healthy. He to me, was one of the top players in Class C. Maybe, arguably, with the Western New York, you know, top 25, top 30 player. I got to believe so. Healthy. Funderburk was showing up all over the stat sheet. So, what do you start?
Akron team, you got Colin Miller. You got Blake Gerstung, who's breaking records right now for Akron.
Yep.
No doubt you've got to give those guys credit. And it will be the hardest part, though, will be that travel down to this team because you know this will be a team ready to go.
Akron travels, though. There's a lot of good lacrosse kids there, so they travel. Good baseball program, good soccer program, good wrestling program, good. They're good in a lot of things. So Akron is used to traveling. It's nothing for them. Man, Tom, this Salamanca team, they just won the Class C Section 6 championship last year. One play away from winning a state title. Lose a ton. Now, you'd think Akron lost a lot.
Yeah.
How many guys did Salamanca win that were legitimately up for Player of the Year on state, first team state, second team state? There's a number of guys.
And the
lineman that went D1.
Well, he was also the offensive player of the year is what he was. The offensive trench person that was recognized.
Yeah.
So you're talking about you lost part of your line on top of that, which was, you said, like went D1, but it's also a kid that was recognized as one of the top 3 linemen in Western New York.
So Salamanca, I can't count them out at all. Barker has passed a few sniff tests. The first sniff test with them was Eden, North Collins. And they humbled that offense. They slowed them down. Now, the Salamanca offense is not nearly as talented as Eden, North Collins. They got a good quarterback there, but they don't have the receivers like Eden does with those Nellis kids. Manageable, good guys, good players at Salamanca, but not household names like you have with those guys in Eden, North Collins. But Salamanca has the experience, fantastic coaching staff, and
the defense. That's the one part Eden doesn't necessarily, it's not their strong suit.
It's not their strong suit.
Right. But this is something Salamanca does bring to the table.
And they played tough, physical teams all year, dating back to last year. They know what it takes to win. I know they're coming in as a 4 seed here, but until...
It's not a 4 seed. It's the same thing we talked about with Grand Island.
Yeah.
This is the same type of concept. This would be the one team I would not want to face being the number 1 seed.
I couldn't say it any better. I would not be surprised if Salamanca gets through Barker Royhart here. I'm not going to be surprised if that happens, just because we know how tough Salamanca has been over the years, and they still look just as tough as they did.
The one thing we've talked about, not only this year, but in the last couple of years with C South, is these lines. These lines are so much bigger, it seems to be, on the C South side of the spectrum versus the C North.
Before Medina did have some twin towers.
Absolutely.
There.
And I'm saying, but what I'm talking about is a whole,
yeah.
right? The whole conference is what I was looking at. And this is the first year Medina didn't have that line where you had consistency that came from the line because it was so young. I mean, he's out there with mainly sophomores and freshmen out there on that line trying to make it happen, and they still found a way to get back to the playoffs.
Yep. So that Akron-Chautauqua Lake game, Salamanca Barker is going to be a war, and we're going to be there on Friday night. You'll see that on the NFHS Network. Akron-Chautauqua Lake could be a good game if they can control the ball. And, you know, what beat Chautauqua Lake earlier was a running game. They struggled trying to bring down the Fuller kid, and they struggled trying to bring down the Lewis kid from Chautauqua Lake. Now, if they can get that run game going and keep the Chautauqua Lake offense on the sideline, stay within a score of Chautauqua Lake, anything can happen. They did beat Tapestry, correct?
Akron, you're
yeah.
About, yes.
So they can play.
Sure
and now Tapestry has a good offense. A very good offense.
Does.
I don't know if it's as good as Chautauqua Lakes, but here's an offense that put up 60-plus points against Eden North Collins. So you know they could put up points. I'm wondering if Akron can keep that close. Can they pull off a shock of shockers?
Akron won 28-22 over Maritime Tapestry.
Okay.
And then they also played, the other game was the Royhart-Barker game, which Barker Royhart run 28-10 over Akron, and that was in week 3, but they didn't have a week 2 game. It looks like no, I'm sorry, they had a wrong in here. So week 2, they had a 28-10 is when they faced Barker Royhart.
Okay, so I'm not counting Akron out just yet, but again, you got Ty Harper on one side and a ton of skill on the offensive side. The defense has got to catch up to that offense if they're going to make a huge run deep into the playoffs. But I think that could be a game. That's definitely a game you got to keep your eye on. Medina Southwestern, same thing. Medina's been here. They've been around for a while. there's almost like a passing of the torch, so to speak. Southwestern's got so many weapons.
Christian Moss won't be playing in this game for Medina. That's going to be the tough to overcome.
That's
right
a tough
there.
loss right there.
It is, and unfortunately not something a little fluky is what it sounds like, but it looks like that Moss won't be playing for Medina, and that will make that game even harder to do. Honestly, the game I would circle coming into this one as my favorite that I think is going to be the fun one to watch is the Eden-Portville one. I really like that game. And I love that it's two different style teams going at each other.
Honestly. You and I are going to be calling this Clarence McKinley game tomorrow. Are you going to have a little pocket watch TV type deal trying to bring that YouTube feed in, that huddle feed for the Eden-Portville game?
No, I'm going to make sure I get on the text string with Alex Coltsey, and he's going to give me all the updates going on in that game. So,
well, he better be concentrating on producing that Medina Southwestern.
I get some of the best updates when he produces, though.
I know. All right, so that's Class C for you folks. I mean, Barker Royhart, man, you're the top seed there, but you've got your hands full with a reigning Section 6 champ in Salamanca. If there's going to be an upset there, that could be one. Akron would be a huge upset. I think that would be a much bigger upset. Akron beating Chautauqua Lake, but like I said, they've been proving me wrong all season. Southwestern should get through Medina, especially with that Moss news. That's tough. And then Portville, Eden, Tom, I agree. Portville's defense and ball control offense, keep it out of Waring's hands if you can. We'll see what happens. If Eden jumps out to a quick lead in that one, it could be Portville's not going to be able to come back down 2 touchdowns to a team like Eden, North Carolina. You can't.
Because Eden can put points up so
exactly.
quickly.
Same thing with Southwestern and Medina. If they get up quickly.
What Portville wants to do is control the clock, control the time of possession. If they can limit the amount of times Eden touches the ball, just need to make one stop, maybe a second stop, is their recipe for success if they're going to do it. And Eden wants this to be a shootout. Come on, let's put up the points because we're capable of putting up the points that we're able to do.
All right, that's Class C. We're moving on to Class D. All right, the 8 seed, Allegheny Limestone, had a real tough year back in 11-man. They got, for your troubles, you guys are going to have to go up to face this guy named Matt Capon and the number 1 Newfane Panthers in Class D. Silver Creek, Forestville, congrats to Sean Helmer and the boys getting into the playoffs, and you guys get yourselves Randolph in a 4-5 matchup there. Cat Little Valley, Mark Benson and company, you guys go up to Wilson Friday night, 7 p.m., and also Franklinville, Ellicottville taking on Gowanda Pine Valley, a 6-3 matchup there. Carter Capozzi and the gang for Gowanda looking to see if they can't sneak their way into the second week. And that'll be a tough game, but I think Gowanda has enough talent there to push through to Week 10 time. Wilson should be punching their ticket to Week 10. And then that Randolph-Silver Creek game, I don't know. I like the pieces Randolph has. I really wish this Conley kid people would see this kid play a little bit more. He's got a lot to offer there at Randolph. He hasn't been dominating the stat sheet, but he is a really good football player.
Game 1,
yeah,
15-6 in favor of Randolph.
That was the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they played week 3, but the first time they played a 15-6 game. You start to wonder here a little bit. Both of these teams starting to show a little bit more offense right here. This could be a fun one. And to me, this one could be one that could go either way right here.
Yeah, Silver Creek Forestville has not been this competitive in a long time. In a long time.
Yeah.
So it's good to see Helmer having success down there again, because he is a good guy, great coach. Alex is reminding, the McElwain kid's a nice running back for Randolph. We'll have to see. That's going to probably come down to the fourth quarter, Silver Creek Randolph, I would imagine. Newfane should not have any trouble with Allegheny Limestone. They're just Matt Capon is just playing out of his mind right now. They should easily
puts that cape on.
Yeah. Matt Capon. Yeah, they should be punching their ticket to Week 10. They'll get the winner of Randolph Silver Creek.
All these teams are going to need to travel north. Wilson Newfane's got right now the tickets right there, and you're going to see some distances. And take a look at this, too, with Allegheny Limestone. You're also asking them to go up to Newfane on a Thursday night, not even on a Friday night or a Saturday. You're asking them to do this on a Thursday, which is going to make that even more difficult.
Maybe they'll get Friday off at school.
Well, let's hope so. Hey, I'll tell you, I'll bet you if they could get a win, they'll have something to be able to say in that.
Allegheny Limestone, if you guys beat Newfane on Thursday night, Mr. Superintendent at Allegheny Limestone, I am demanding you give those kids the day off of school. You might even want to give them Monday off, too, to start getting ready for Randolph or Silver Creek. Anyways, that's your Class D playoff bracket. Tom, do you expect to see Newfane Wilson at Highmark?
I do. At this point, I do. And I'll tell you, I also believe it could be even a closer game there. There were some things I saw both teams in the second halves. I love the way how Wilson did not give up in that Newfane game. And I think you may see a couple different things that Wilson's capable of doing. But, folks, if you have not watched Matt Capon play, go watch the highlights. Go, in fact, look at the interview I did for Newfane this week, because I've got highlights in that video that we did the interview with him. And I'll tell you, size, he looked like a man running against, younger guys is what it looked like. Yeah. He just has got this physique. And then there was one, you saw him run to the right through the line, broke at least 4 tackles, and then comes out of the last tackle, literally like a rocket. He comes out, and just see him running away from everybody. The kid's got the speed, he's got the athletic ability, he's got the power to go with it. There's a lot of things that are good for Newfane when it comes to knowing that you got a quarterback like that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we had a young man, a new intern at Western New York Athletics. His name is Anthony. I'm trying to. Do you know how to pronounce his last name, Heidi? I've been struggling with it. The young man from Kenmore West.
Yeah,
okay.
It'll show it.
We had this young man from Kenmore West. He wants to intern with Western New York Athletics. I asked first assignment I gave him. I said, I want you to do a video of the Ken East Ken West game. So we're going to show it. We may not show the whole. It's a 7-minute video. Bagarazzi, Anthony Bagarazzi, a junior at Kenmore West. If you want to intern for Western New York Athletics, by all means, send us a message, and we'll see if we can't plug you in and see what you can do. But Heidi, you've got the video. Why don't we go to this video? And we may not show all 7 minutes, but here it is for you, and we'll come back at when it's finished.
Strategy, poise, consistency, and fierce competitiveness.
We're back.
Adding continuous soccer.
Wide. Here is Weinert. He's going to roll to his left now. Going to throw crossbody. Looking for Harlem Brandon. It's up in the air. And Brandon looks like made the catch off the tip. He did. First down. Blue. Goes Weinert. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw toward the end zone. It is caught. It been driven out of bounds, and they're going to save it short. Weinert, hand off to Harlem Brannon, and he pounds his way into the end zone for the game's opening touchdown. Harlem Brannon. shotgun. They're going to hand it to Brannon, and Brannon has the first down and then some. A couple of jump cuts, crosses all the way to the far side of the field, and Harlem. Here is the punt, going to be kicked right down the middle. Harlem Brannon fields at the 20-yard line. And now here we go, angling toward the near side of the field. Brannon down the near sideline. He's got one man to beat, gets a couple of blocks. Harlem Brannon cuts it back. And Harlem Brannon is going to take it in. 80-yard punt return touchdown. Is going to drop back for the first time since his interception in the second quarter, and it is caught. Giovanni Harris. Here is Reinert. The handoff now bouncing it to the near side. Bonda, and he is in for the touchdown. 10-yard score for Nate Bonda. Pitches back to Brannon. Brannon has a crease. He's got the first down, and Harlem Brannon taken down at about the 16. Here goes Harlem Brannon. It's a hat trick. Harlem Brannon takes it in from 1 yard out, and that might be the dagger here in the...
Okay, good job, Anthony, on that video. You did a pretty good job for your first one. We'll have to, maybe we'll see if we let you do another one. We'll have to wait and see. We'll talk. We'll talk about this. Good job, buddy. Honestly, good job. And I saw the pictures too, and I'm sure we'll use a couple of them in over the next few days here. Anyways, what did you want us to do again, Heidi? After the video, going to go into the rankings. I think you were going to do. Okay, let's do small. These are the small rankings. Right in front of your face, right there.
What week are we on?
The week before the playoffs. So Tom and I agree on a few, and we disagree on a few. That's not this week's?
Week 8.
This is week.
Is it?
Yeah. The last week of the season was week 8.
Okay.
Right. Week 9 would be the first week of the playoffs.
That's this week.
Right. Well,
That's what I'm saying. I think.
well, I
that's
mean, I
last
think
week.
this covers through week 8
Okay.
is what it means.
That's where we got right now. Those are our rankings. Got maybe have some movement, maybe not a lot of movement. Could be some movement. How about those large school rankings? Yeah, we're still there. Okay. Ta-da! There they are. So those be the rankings, folks. And what else you got? What's that? Oh, yeah. So those are the games this week. If you're looking for games, we're not doing the Monsignor Martin game Saturday night, St. Francis Canisius. That is on WNYO, although Joe Kraus and Tom Prince will be on the call for that one. That'll be on WNYO TV. We do sponsor that game. You know, we do. WNY Athletics is a sponsor for
commercials and stuff in there.
Thursday Night Lights, but it's actually a Saturday game.
They're actually doing 2 this week. They're doing a Thursday game and a Saturday game this week.
Yeah. What's the Thursday game they're doing? Do you know? Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I do know. If you give me 1 second, I know.
I'll give you 2. Again, thanks for our sponsors. While Tom's looking that up, we got Richmond Vona, personal injury attorneys, Damon University, Logistics Plus, the Buffalo Colvin Cleaners.
They're doing the Lancaster game, Lancaster Niagara Falls.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. Wingnuts of Buffalo, Canisius High School, Binghamton University, G&G Fitness, and SUNY Cortland. Okay. What else were we going to talk about after we did the rankings? Was there another
So what you
graphic
showed the
you
games
had?
that we're going to do? Yeah. This is the
So these are the Empire End Zone games that Francis and Jake Fyack will be talking about on Friday night when they should be passing out chocolate. They're going to be in here instead. They got they'll have live look-ins at Salamanca, Roy Hart. They'll have live look-ins at Silver Creek, Forestville versus Randolph, Grand Island, Will North, Akron, Chautauqua Lake, Franklinville, Ellicottville, at Gowanda, Lockport, Jamestown, the Cat Little Valley, and Wilson. We can't do a live look-in at the Will South game because the crybaby over there is going to be a crybaby about it and cried to Section 6 about it. So, no, I can stick it away and say it. What do I care? He's a crybaby. Crybaby. He doesn't want us showing highlights of that game because he's a crybaby. Crybaby, crybaby, crybaby. Anyways.
So you brought up the Halloween thing.
Yes.
I am sure Francis will make a stop at 7-Eleven before he comes in, and there will be candy in here at one point.
He loves their pizza.
He loves everything about that.
Yes.
Can't we make them dress up? Tell them that costumes are mandatory for Friday night.
Are you wearing a costume to the Ken West Health Sciences game?
I'm not working.
Doesn't matter.
I don't wear a costume.
Okay.
I'll dress up. If they're dressing up, I'll dress up. I'll even come
You
here.
won't be standing out at that game.
If they dress up, I'll even come here and throw them candy. I'll let them trick or treat around the desk.
All right. So those are the games that Jake and Francis will be highlighting on Friday night. Now, next order of business, and this is massive, major, huge, Canisius St. Francis. This is the game that we have had circled since before the season started. Top 2 teams in Monsignor Martin with the best running games. You're going to find out, really. Listen, I used to say, like, you know these 2 teams are going to play in the championship. They're going to play before that. Do you throw all your cards in that game? You know, all you're playing for is the top seed right now, really.
Could be playing for a home game, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Someone said you always want to play your best. And your playbook may shrink, but for the most part, you're going to play hard every play. Of course, you're going to play hard.
You're never going to see one of these kids not play hard. But to be honest with you, with film the way it is these days, you have said how many times just in this show, go to the Cuddle Cam and watch the game. There's nothing these teams haven't seen about each other at this point. So guess what? I'm going for the win. I want to go in and see if I can do everything I can so that I get the advantage going into the playoffs that I defeated you.
So this one's at St. Francis. Again, it'll be on WNYO TV. And we'll check this out. Murray Hall's going to do a hall pass for us. So you'll see that a hall pass, the game melt, will be available next week. And, that game, Tom, I don't know. I give the edge to St. Francis, not so much for the coaching, but probably because of the play of the quarterback. The way Trent Buttles has led that offense, and there's a lot of talent there. The way he's been able to spread that ball around, make plays with his feet, and what he does defensively, to me, that's the guy. That's the main difference. I think
that's why I have them at number 1 right now in my rankings.
Because of Trent?
Because of that to me was the biggest difference. But I'm going to tell you, the last couple weeks in my Skylines report, Matteo Brusco's been somebody I've been starting to recognize and is starting to get some positive things at quarterback himself right there. And in the game that we did earlier this year with Canisius versus Canisius Joes, he didn't need to come up where he had to throw for 300 yards. He did it in the right spots at the right time, and that's when he came up big. And that may be the difference that he needs to do in this one.
So you know who he reminded me of was the junior year of Trey Drake at Jamestown. Okay. Here's a kid that had the talent, could make the throws, smart, can move in the pocket, make plays with his feet, but can deliver a strike when he need to as well. But you had Jalen Butero back there, and they let him cook. They let him cook. They rode him all the way to the semifinals that year where they got jobbed. But anyways, that reminds me of that kid. You've got Kimball and you got Hernandez. Great running game. Don't turn the ball over. Just play a good game, call a good game. Don't turn the ball over. Let these horses run. Let them do their job. And that's got them to where, where they are. Come this Saturday night, though, will you have it? Will you be able to score enough? Like, whose offense is going to keep the other defense off the field? That's the key.
Well, both of them can have big plays happen at any time. And I'll tell you, look at the running game for St. Francis. They'll match it. You got Cook and you got Clark Jr. right there, but you could say Cook Jr. too. Sorry. Both of them juniors. This week, Cook Jr. ran the ball. He's the top running back that comes out of St. Francis this past week as far as the numbers went. But again, this is where either one can do it. And then flip it for Canisius. The running back this week, Amir Hernandez got named as the top running back this week.
Well, did Kimball play this week?
Yeah, he played. He had numbers. But again, you just look at it from the perspective of the reason why I'm saying it like that is just that both of these teams have two dynamic running backs that can come out and play big. What we've seen early on this season is exactly it. Buttles has been the difference. He got his 4th Division I offer already this year from what he's doing over at St. Francis. So the kid's legit, the kid's for real, and that to me was a difference. I will tell you, when you look at size of the lines and line play that's out there, if you remember back at Wingnuts when you and I were together and we got a chance to interview the Canisius side of the spectrum and the Joe's side of the spectrum, Joe's announced their line. Do you remember what it was they said? He said averaging over 300 pounds a man. And then you saw Coach Krasansky. He goes, oh, this is going to be a tough one. He's trying to downplay his line. His line was just as big and played just the way he wanted it to in that game. This line, you may give a slight advantage to Canisius, though, with line play to me right out there. So you got a quarterback advantage that goes to St. Francis, a line advantage to me that goes to Canisius. That's the reason why this is going to be so great, because there are advantages that go to either team. The question is, who's going to be able to make up for the other advantage?
I would like to get one of our weathermen to please send us an outlook for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you're out there, Danny from WGRZ.
Dan's the guy I think we got to ask.
He should. You know what? I'm surprised we haven't had a better relationship with him to bring him on.
Why don't we ask him?
Yeah, we should. We're probably dropping the ball on that one. But maybe Dan can hook us up with a little segment we could plug into and get a. Plug him into.
That would be great, because I'm going to tell you, Thursday, Friday, weather will be an issue. We've already heard that. Yeah. So that's why we really want that.
Is it supposed to be Saturday also? I imagine.
I don't know. I heard Thursday, Friday. I haven't heard the weather report. I apologize into the weekend.
You should apologize.
But Thursday and Friday, no doubt weather. That's why I said it in that Lancaster-Niagara Falls game about that grass field. Even though they got an incredible crown on that field, that how well they keep that field over there. If it's going to be a lot of rain, and we've seen that as of late. The question will be is how long does it hold up, especially with two teams that will be tearing it up.
Good question. Anything?
48 cloudy, chance for precipitation 0.
So Saturday just cooler, doesn't have that same type of rain weather.
Okay. I did want to give a shout out. Down in Jamestown, there's a young man, Johnny Lemoncuso, a young kid battling cancer. Plays youth football down there. A really great kid, good family. His dad was a QB at Jamestown back in the early 2000s. Second time battling cancer. Treatment has started. It's weakened this young man. So I want to send out our thoughts and prayers with him and that family to keep battling. We're thinking about you, buddy. And hopefully Jamestown get a big win for you this weekend and go from there. Also want to give a shout out to all those youth football teams, the OACA League, the NASA League, all those teams that won championships. Congratulations on fine seasons. Huge shout out to all those coaches and league administrators that keep those leagues going from Williamsville to Tonawanda, Boston, up there in Pendleton, South Buffalo, Jamestown, Fredonia, all areas of Western New York.
Got a great program.
Lancaster, Clarence,
Airlines, right? They've got a great program. There's some great programs out there.
Yeah, but all those administrators and coaches that really don't get paid enough to do what they do to keep those programs and leagues going.
Paid enough. They usually don't get paid anything.
Yeah, and thank you to all those officials too. Now, a lot of you seniors whose football high school careers came to an end this past week or will be coming to an end sooner than later, don't forget, you can still stay involved, whether it's through coaching or officiating. Hear the officials out. Those guys are making good money. It's not a career for a lot of them. It's their second job. But if you're serious, there's an opportunity for you to get yourself into high school football games, maybe go to college and do the college games, and even better. I got a good buddy, B.J. Henry from Rochester, Section 5. He does, I believe, the Big Ten games. So, is Oregon in the Big Ten?
Yes.
Penn State? Yeah, he's a Big Ten official. So every weekend he's going somewhere, and he's getting paid well, and they take care of all of his arrangements to get there, and food and all that other stuff, transport, hotels, all that stuff. So who knows where you can go? You can still stay involved with the game through officiating. So listen to those officials. Stop one of them. They'll talk to you and tell you how to get involved. And yeah, tomorrow you won't be doing games at Highmark, but next year you probably won't either. But it's a lot quicker path to get there than it ever was. And so you can still stay involved with the game. Tom, any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
This is the beginning. This is where it all begins right here. And it's a total nother season. Every team is 0-0. I say this multiple times. Don't leave something on the field. There were times, and I've had 3 kids go through football players and baseball players and basketball players. And when they came up to me, at least at the end of a game, and said, Dad, I couldn't do anything more. You can't ask for more than that. Win or lose, you left everything on the field. That's the kind of attitude you want to have, that I left it all on the field.
100%. So listen to Tom's advice. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. Just do everything you possibly can. But I will remind you one last time, if you get thrown out of this game and your team advances, you're sitting at home next week. You're not playing. So stay in the game. Don't fall for the traps. Keep your heads in the game. No stupid stuff. And have a great week. Stay healthy, and hopefully we'll be talking about you in Week 10. We're heading to where again? We're doing Clarence McKinley tomorrow on NFHS?
We're at All High right there.
Okay. You and I are going there. I'm on the call. You're on the call. Mario's on camera. Heidi, are you producing?
She is.
All right. We're supposed to be wearing shirts and ties.
That's what you told me.
All right. We'll see if we can remember that. And then what else you doing? You're doing Barker and Salamanca?
Salamanca, yeah.
And then you get Willie West Seneca West.
Yep.
Man, and then you got to do St. Francis?
Absolutely.
4 games in 3 nights.
Do you really think I'm not going to have enough energy to do it? Everyone knows I'm going to bring it every single game.
And don't forget, the Dick Gallagher Banquet is Saturday, December 13th. The best players in Western New York will be invited, top coaches, and that Mount Rushmore is looking for 4 new names to be added to it. So who are our best, toughest, meanest defensive players? We're going to hopefully see your name on that trophy this year. But have a great night. Enjoy your Halloween. Get around safely. And thank you for watching West New York High School Football Weekly. For Heidi Gunther producing and Tim Gardner doing all the graphics he was earlier. And Tom Prince, I am Frank Wolf for West New York Athletics. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, thanks, Pat. I appreciate it. It's great being here, and thanks to the Buffalo Bills. And for our success, we want to grow as a team and work hard as a team.
For us, I think our main focus is getting back to West End Geese football.
You know, I say it all the time, players graduate, but our expectations don't change. So we return a tremendous amount of talent, a lot of experience, and we got to build on it. And focus is play for each other.
That we're not just an extracurricular, but this is a sport where we're going to be very competitive, and we're going to work hard every day.
We just want our guys to choose hard every single time. And playing football is hard. Playing in AA is hard. You know, living your life perfectly is hard. So we want our guys to choose hard and just battle through it, to learn to trust the guy next to you, to rely on the guy next to you, and create some memories along the way. We're really excited for what we call Road 25 here in the next couple of days. We're really excited.
You know, it ain't no pressure on our guys. You know, just go out there, just play the game. You know, try to, create some film so you can have a college coach that like you to try to get recruited. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want our guys. That's what you're playing for. You're trying to earn some scholarship money to try to get a free education. So our guys is working hard and doing everything they can. But the expectation is to go out there, have fun, play the game that you love, and try to win at the same process.
It's going to be an electrifying game, I believe. I really think that.
Now, who talks the most trash on that bus?
Live in the moment, don't get stuck in the moment. A lot of our guys, when success gets to our heads, and by the time we get to the playoff, we kind of get big-headed. So just humbling ourselves, working hard, understanding, take it day by day, minute by minute.
And expectations, I think our guys set the tone last year, getting to the sectional title game. Certainly not where we wanted to finish with a loss, but raised the bar for the program. Obviously, we're having 3 schools, we're bringing some more size and some talent from all Richmond, so we're going to keep that expectation high.
We had a pretty good year last year, kind of unexpected. We had a lot of guys returning. The leadership of these 2 guys next to us is going to hopefully pave the way.
The expectation this year is honestly to get better. We always have that mentality for us. We don't really care who we play or when we play. It's all about just us. We focus on us getting better.
But I have great faith in the kids that we have. If you have a true program, your program just rolls from year to year. And, with these guys that we have, I'm excited.
Coach said about priority to win. I just hope our team working together this offseason. I hope we really believe in each other because we're always there for each other. We're always doing stuff together.
Motivator this year is the fact that we got some guys here, three guys here with me right now. We've got 10 more probably in our locker room. They work hard, extremely hard in practice.
And the secret is, like I tell them every day, when you walk on a football field, all right, you either get better or worse. We want to get 1% better every day. And I believe if we do that, there'll be some kids that get Division I scholarships, and they'll go to college, and they'll play football, and you know what? They'll have one hell of a high school great experience. But it started in the classroom, and they all realize that. That is my expectation for my student athletes after that.